Now we're going to get into layer styles, which is very cool. Let's start out with the drop shadow. I'm going to put a drop shadow on the word yellow. So I'm moving over into the layers panel, click on yellow, and there's a number of different ways to bring up the layer style dialog box. I'm going to double click in a blank spot on the layer. See, if I click on yellow, it will think I want to rename it. So I'm going to double click and it brings up the layer style box. Down here is drop shadow. That's what I want to put on the word yellow. I'm going to click the little tiny radio button here. Now it gives me a default drop shadow. But let's say I want to edit the drop shadow. How am I going to do that? Take a look at this middle part. If I just click the button, it gives me a default. If I click the whole word, it gives me the editing tools for that layer style. So for example, I want the distance to be a little bit more. Now they call softness size. I want it to be softer, so I'm going to make the size a little bit bigger. I'm going to change the opacity a little bit, make it a little lighter. So there, now I have a drop shadow I like. Let's also add Bevel and Emboss. Same thing, if I just click Bevel and Emboss, I still have the drop shadow editing features here. But if I click on the word Bevel and Emboss, and I also leave drop shadow checked so it stays active, I get the editing features. This is bevel down, bevel up. You should play with this. I like to chisel hard. So now it's nice and chiseled. I'm going to change the size of the chisel. I'm going to make it a 3. Ooh, well, yeah, 3's okay. And then there's contour. We're not doing contours right now, but if I turn on contour, then I've got all these choices. Ew, that's weird. Okay then. All right, I'll stay with that. Okay. So now I have 2 layer styles. See, there's more things attached to this layer. There's this little tiny FX. There's Bevel and Emboss. There's Drop Shadow. If I like this so much, okay, so let's say we want to move all these effects to the word blue. So I'm going to click on the word effects and just drag them up to the word blue. They're not on the word yellow anymore. So I moved them. But let's say I don't want to move them. I want to copy them. On the Mac, you hold the Option key. On the PC, you hold the Alt key. So I'm going to hold the Option key and bring them back to the yellow. Now these effects are on both. Let's say I just want the drop shadow on the word green. I'm going to click drop shadow, bring it up to green, and now the word green has the drop shadow. I'm going to open up this layers panel so you can see everything. There's nothing to say that we can't move them to for a shape. So I'm going to hold the Option key and move them to the yellow shape. Let's say I don't want the drop shadow. Just like throwing out a layer, hopefully I taught you how to throw out a layer, I can take that little drop shadow, put it in the trash, and now it's gone. I'm going to undo that with Command Z. Instead, I'm just going to turn off the eyeball because I might want the drop shadow later. I'm going to, instead of double clicking the word red, the red layer, I'm going to go down here to this little FX box. This will automatically bring up whatever layer style I want selected so I can edit it immediately. And it'll bring up the whole box as well. So let's see, let's go with a pattern overlay. Here we go. And as you can see, oh, I didn't, I was still on yellow. Cancel. I have to be on the layer. That would help. Okay, back to pattern overlay. There we go. There, see that pattern in there? With Photoshop, Photoshop comes with lots of patterns. See this little gear? If you click, you can load patterns. Here's erodible textures. When you load anything, if you don't say append, it's going to delete everything that's there. So I generally append unless I want to reset everything back to the beginning. So I'm going to append and add to the bottom of that. That doesn't look that interesting. Let's see. How about nature patterns? Append. That's a little more interesting. So I'm going to get this one, and I'm not going to click OK because I want to also give it a bevel and emboss. I'm going to change it to chisel hard, and I'm going to add more of a chisel. And then I'm going to add a drop shadow. And with drop shadow, you can actually go into the picture plane and pull the drop shadow. Now notice it's moving all the drop shadows, everything. That's because the default is to use global light, which makes sense in the real world, but sometimes when you're designing, you don't want to do that. Or at least I don't. So I uncheck that. Now I can pull this around and make it do what I want. And then I'm going to make it a little softer, and it just sort of pops there off the page. Then I'm going to click OK, and now this one has 3 effects on it. I'm going to hold the Option key, I'm going to drag it to the green one, I'm going to double click the pattern overlay so I can change the pattern to something else, and click OK, and then I'm going to go to the blue circle with all of these, and I'm going to again change the pattern, and let's see, this is kind of nice, these nature patterns. I'm going to do that. And green, the word green, the word red is also, I want to put some stuff on that. Where's the word red? Here it is. I'll double click, and I'll put where's my outer glow? There's my outer glow. See, outer glow defaults to this light yellow color. Whenever you see a little box, it means a little color box. It means you can click it and the color picker will come up. So instead of yellow, I'm going to go to magenta, just so you can see. And I'm going to, let's see, add spread, which adds thickness, add size. Okay, oh, it's not listening to me because I have that. I'll have to say, okay, okay. There we go. And I also want to add bevel. So there we have it. Layer styles. You can have fun with them. You can turn the eyeballs on and off. Blue, I just turned the bevel off of blue. And have fun.